Hey, what's going on, everybody? BDL44 coming at you with another video. All right, so I'm a Laker fan, just lost to the Clippers for the 10th straight time. And, I just sat here and did a little prayer, said a little woosah, you know what I mean, before I started this video because I didn't want to rant. I almost wanted to make a Clipper video, a Clipper based video, um, because I think there's a very serious dynamic taking place after this particular victory for their team. And that dynamic is they look like they can actually win the West right now. The question is for them, just like for it is for us, just like it is for Brooklyn, just like it is for a lot of these teams that have mortgaged their future, is how healthy can you be when it matters most? It's not about how well you look right now. It's about how well you look when the playoffs start and how durable you are as the playoffs continue. Um, but the way they're constructed, the Clippers are constructed right now, I think that they have a chance to do it. The problem is the same problem that I said at the beginning of the season for them. I don't trust their center position. And I know it may be obsolete based on the way that they play and the way that those wings look tonight defensively, but I don't know if that works when you go up against some of these other teams that are even more talented than these Lakers. Uh, we're kind of up and down. We don't have a whole lot to guard. But once you start having more players to guard, the Clippers are going to start running into some other issues. Players like Brandon Ingram and I think about some of these other teams. I don't know about Memphis. I think they're talented enough to take on the Clippers. I just don't know where their head's at, and I don't know where they're going to be at the end of the season. We'll have to keep an eye on them. And Luka Doncic is always a variable that everyone should take very seriously. Regardless of how well his team is playing, he could do the impossible. He's just that great. But all in all, I don't know if in a 7-game series he'll actually be able to knock somebody off. I think the Jalen Brunson piece is missing in Christian Wood's health. I don't know, man. So I don't really look at him as a contender. And then the Golden State Warriors, I don't really know what I'm looking at when I look at that team. I don't know what I'm looking at. They could very well win the championship themselves. Never rule them out. So I just kind of leave them to the side and I just wait to see what the heck they're going to do. But the Clippers are a team right now that if they have the right path through the playoffs and stay as healthy as they were tonight, they can do some very, very, very interesting things, man. And so that's what I wanted to come here and say. That's a humble thing to say because I do not like the Clippers by any stretch of the imagination. Um, watch this team sit here for years and years and years and never win a championship. It would be unprecedented for them to do so. But I don't know that they're the best team in the league, but I do see that they're chopping people down in very, very interesting ways. Going throughout this regular season since Kawhi's come back and Norman Powell's healthy. And I don't think this team has been healthy since they put them together. In fact, since in the last 2 or 3 years, I don't know how many games Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and Norman Powell have actually played together. Probably not many. It's one of the few games that they've been healthy, and we saw what it looked like. And LeBron James played nearly a perfect basketball game, and it didn't mean a damn thing. They ran him up out of here, and that's the God's honest truth, man. And he was frustrated, probably more so than most nights. Um, and that was part of what I wanted to come on here and talk about because I'm like, man, if I'm LeBron James, I'm losing my faith that I can win here. I've won a championship here, but this Anthony Davis situation, he better come back healthy, man. And these two picks y'all holding on to, if I'm LeBron James, I'm like, you know what I mean? You got to give me as much help as I need right now because this type of performance is worthy of being invested in. And that's what he's going to say. You know what I mean? You can't have me playing like this against your rivals and we don't have enough to beat them. That's on y'all. You feel me? I can do everything I can do, but at the end of the day, I'm 38 years old. So I play more minutes than anybody else, and I'm playing nearly flawless for you. What more do you want from me? That's what I would be saying. I don't know if that's his position, but that's definitely mine if I'm him. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I think the Lakers are just at a crossroads. I represent the franchise from my perspective and point of view, which is always considering the future, always considering the youth. But LeBron James did something really special for the team tonight, and I don't think the team was able to meet his. We weren't able to meet his fire, man. We weren't able to meet his fire. Lakers, Genie, that's the truth, and that's not something you want to say. That's not a good thing. But all in all, it's about the choices we make. Just as we say, we put certain things in place, and you're gonna get a certain result, man. And if you're patient, maybe it works itself out. But you have different timelines going on with your coach and your players, and that's the reality of it. I like Darvin Ham a lot, and I think he's going to learn from a lot of the mistakes that he's made in this season to start. And I think by the end of the season, we're going to be a much better team. But you can't ask a rookie coach to out-strategize some of the best coaches in the league. And tonight was yet another reminder of that, man. Ty Lue, Ty Lue did what he had to do. They did a lot of strategizing. They did a lot of things that worked tonight. They pushed buttons tonight, on the Clipper side of things. And you just got to understand that we're at a disadvantage. Our coach is trying things. We're throwing darts at the wall. And that's just unacceptable when you're going up against a team like this, especially when they're shooting like that. So I don't want to take too much onus away from the Clippers. Like I said, I don't think anybody could have beat him on a night where they're playing this well on both sides of the floor. It took Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant out there to beat them boys tonight. But I just felt like there were certain things in detail that we could have did that could have still put us in a position to have beaten them on a night like this, particularly in the third quarter when they started slowing down. And particularly also in the fourth quarter, near the midway through the fourth quarter when we really started making a push. When Bron's playing like that, you always should be able to have a chance. And that's the point. The Clippers playing all that stellar and all that, all LeBron needed was another star on the floor, and he could have beat them with them shooting like this. And that's the point. That's the point. That's what it comes down to. If we're going to go forward with LeBron James, you got to do what you got to do with him. And that's why I'm at a crossroads there. I'm like, look, I appreciate LeBron James, but I also appreciate the position the Lakers are in. They can't meet his fire. They don't. They're not making good enough decisions to put a good enough team around the man. And like I said, if we can, get Rui Hachimura in here, get him playing at a high level, Anthony Davis stay healthy for the rest of the season, look out, league. Maybe we can really do it if he keeps playing like this. But all of these things are a bad bet, man, including him staying healthy and playing like this for the rest of the seasons, including the finals. All the way through the playoffs, you want him to do this every night? What if we run into the Clippers in the playoffs? He has to do this 7 games? Man, listen. This is why you don't get too ambitious with your timeline. You don't take on more than you can handle. It's the lesson that we all should learn. The Nets have done it. The Lakers have done it. Even these Clippers here. But the Clippers have a talented team if they can just stay healthy just like the rest of us. They just happen to be in that space where they're healthy right now. The Nets were there about 3 weeks ago. Remember? They couldn't, and then KD rolled an ankle, and now they're in this space. We were there when Anthony Davis, about a month ago. These 3 teams, they just cycle the same stuff. But at the end of the day, if you don't do things properly, man, you ain't going to have enough depth to get through the playoffs. We know this. We know this. It just doesn't really work. Maybe one of these teams get lucky. Maybe I'm wrong and 2 of these teams meet in the finals. The Nets versus the Clippers or something like that. That wouldn't shock me at all. Because they have that type of talent. But they're rolling the dice like crazy on their talent staying healthy enough to get that far. Yeah, the talent is overpowering. Yeah, you're going to be able to knock off teams. But when you get to that Boston Celtics matchup and they coming at you with all them dang defenders, and Jason Tatum's is flexing just as hard as those superstars are, what are you going to do? Because Boston and Morgan's their future. All their players are up to par. How are you going to handle that with your role players? It ain't. This is what it comes down to. You couldn't meet the superstars' fire. Kyrie out there playing like a giant for the Nets, but they can't meet his fire. Why? Because the talent ain't on the floor. Why? Because they wanted to mortgage their future so that they can have superstars and didn't have enough role players to make it make sense. So one superstar rolls an ankle and the team ain't no good no more. That's why. So I made a video like I made this morning about the Wizards. Don't mortgage your future. Don't overpay anything. Learn from our mistakes and build yourself a foundation. Then you'll never find yourself in a situation where you're losing people that you can't afford to lose, because even if they bounce, you got next one coming up because you already got your situation in place. Mortgage nothing, especially if you're a small market. These teams will be doing it wrong. And I'm telling you, the Lakers, they're already in the position they're in, so you might as well go all in. And then when you mortgage it all, start over properly. That's all you can do. Get them picks out of here, trade it for whatever you're going to trade it for, get this man what he's supposed to get, give him the farewell he's supposed to have, and then start the rigorous process of doing this the right way all over again. And I promise you, we're going to suck for about 9 years. But after those 9 years, if you build properly, you'll be good for 10 or 12 or 20 years. That's kind of where we're at, Lakers. Or you can hold on to them picks and overvalue them, hope they turn into what they're supposed to. But the path between now and then, if you screw it up with LeBron James, looks pitiful anyway. And I've thought that part out. That's the difference between this video and the videos I made about 6 months ago. I thought that part out. I was like, look, if we mess this up with Bron with this organization and the way that it's constructed, that he walks out of here pissed off, nobody ever coming here again, bro. We might be the Shanghai Sharks by the end of that. And that's my thing. It's like, why does it even have to be that way when he comes out here and plays like this? It's not like he coming out here bricking up a million shots all the time. Yeah, he does his 3-point shot thing. But look at what we get when he's focused. Look. Is anyone better than him doing this? I don't think there's a single soul better than him doing this. But the problem is he's 38 years old, man. That's the problem. That's it. And trust me, I know how that goes. I'm 38 too, as you guys know. It's not that I think I'm like him or any other, you know what I mean? He's a different specimen than all of us. But it just becomes a situation where you get mentally tired. You're tired, bro. You've been doing this for so long. And you play at this higher level and you find yourself looking at the franchise and they just bumbling and fumbling and doing whatever. You just see other opportunities to do what it is that you do best elsewhere and succeed. You know what I mean? Even if you did contribute so much to why it's constructed this way, what does that matter to you? If you're LeBron James. At the end of the day, they have opportunities to undo it. They need to undo it. That's it. You don't care how Russell Westbrook got here. You know what I mean? You don't care. And that's what we need to understand as a franchise. Because you know why? Because he's playing like this. So you should be able to do whatever. That's the leverage. If you don't like the dynamic, you know what you got to do? You got to sever it. You know what I mean? And I have so much respect for what I'm seeing. I just stay quiet at this point. Because he's playing so damn well. What am I supposed to say? Like it's a good idea to part ways with LeBron James and leave ourselves with this front office? Come on, man. Doesn't even make sense no more. That didn't even make any sense. So my thing is, let's see what the next move is. We like the one we saw yesterday. You know what I mean? You can gain my trust if you start doing things the right way. Hopefully AD comes back tomorrow. Lonnie comes back tomorrow. Everybody comes back tomorrow. Hachimura comes in tomorrow. All of this could be great, right? Blow out the Spurs. Start this road trip and have a good game against the Celtics. Then we're talking about great things again, right? That's how this goes with this team anyway. But honestly, man, at the end of the day, when it comes around to these playoffs and we start running into these teams and have to go up against a 7-game series against all these guys, I'm telling you, man, it's not looking good. I'm not going to fool myself. Trade or no trade, this is a fragile core. It's fragile. Just like the Clippers core, to be completely honest with you. They're just healthy right now. But I'm telling you, if they stay healthy, they look like champs to me. I ain't even going to hold you. Because at the end of the day, what I'm seeing there is a team that's playing defense a lot better than they've played these last couple years. That's the difference. The Clipper team, they've been pretty solid defensively, but tonight, they look like world beaters defensively, and they couldn't miss. That's scary to me. That's real scary. So, and like I said, Golden State, they got chemistry issues or something. I don't know. Maybe they snap into whoever they want to be. They are so talented. I almost expect them to be the champions at the end of this year, you guys. Even though we're having all these conversations, I really do think that Steph is still probably going to end up doing. And when it really comes down to it, who's going to scheme against him properly? Who's really going to do it? And the way Jordan Poole's continuing to play, it's like he ain't getting no worse. He's just going to continue to vault into stardom himself. So the talent that they have and the shooting that they have, I don't know how realistic it is for anybody to beat them. But it's all about how healthy they stay, just like everybody else. And most importantly, can they play defense? Because they're not nearly as good a defensive team as they were last year. And that could be their Achilles heel. And they have been struggling a lot, so they could very easily find themselves out of the playoffs too, which is how weird the West is. But, you know, the conventional teams like Memphis, I think the Memphis Grizzlies are a talented team, man. I don't want to overlook them, but I just think their energy is going to wear against them. I honestly think the boasting and all of it, I think it's just gonna play. It's gonna play against them. I really do. I think they're headed for a brick wall that's necessary, just like most teams that win championships. I think they're gonna get one eventually. I think this is like that. I think this is what this is for them. They just got to learn that lesson, I believe. But there are other teams in that same position, so they need to be careful not to throw seasons away. That's what I would say to the Memphis Grizzlies. I don't know how many more seasons. Luka's not going to be a champion. Joel's not going to be a champion. Giannis is going to get another one. Teams like that don't have as many windows as they may think they have, which is why I don't know if I trust them. It's about how well they are able to capture the moment for themselves. But they have the talent to do it. We definitely see that. So it's a lot of teams, man. And then another team can make a trade and change everything, you know. A guy can be traded to a different squad, and suddenly we have an entirely different type of situation. So I wouldn't be surprised something like that changes the entire dynamic of the league over the next 2 weeks before the deadline, to be honest with you. You get the wrong combination of players moving, and you might see a new contender, a New York contender or something weird like that. Watch. Don't be surprised. They got 7 picks. They can do something weird right now. You know, and they were ambitious. They didn't get Donovan Mitchell. I don't know who else would be on the market, but keep an eye on the Knicks. I'm not sure they're not ready to do some Cowboy stuff, man. It's just a gut feeling. And when you miss on something, but you still see how good they're playing, Julius Randle's playing like a superstar right now. They got a lot of weapons, covetable weapons. Some of them they're not going to re-sign. I see them doing something. They're going to do something. And they got a lot of picks, man. So I don't know why my mind is racing there, but it's that time of year, you know. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. I think the Clippers at the end of the day are a contender if they're healthy, man. They scared me to hell tonight. They shot better than anybody I've seen in a long, long time, and that defense they played was stellar. But they're still the Clippers, man. You know how I feel about the Clippers. They don't ever win anything ever. It's almost a crying shame if you actually like the team, you know. But I don't think I've ever had more confidence in them than I do right now. But that's not really saying much. I'm going to be honest with you. That doesn't mean much of anything to me. I believe more so in the curse than anything else. But they're noteworthy. That's a noteworthy bunch. Kawhi Leonard is a surgeon. And I don't think he's done winning championships either. I don't. If he could stay healthy. Then again, I also thought he would retire. So what do I know? I don't know. But he's somebody that is a thorn in LeBron James' side, and I know LeBron James would like that thorn to not be a thorn anymore. That's the truth. And I think this game meant something because of that and that alone. Dude's a thorn, man. But I can tell you this. Who had a championship in the 10-year? That would be us. BDL 44. I thank y'all for watching. I'm out.